I love the fact that we're releasing a new album. That's fucking great, but still, it's the synergy between the band and the people who are attending shows. That's the like the lifeline of the whole thing.
Jukka, thank you so much for your time today. Exciting times. We're creeping closer to the launch of May the Bridges We Burn Light the Way. Although it feels like there's always a new release coming for Omnium Gatherum at some point. Like there's always something to talk about with you guys. It feels like you never really take a break. Is there some truth to that? Are you personally somebody that needs to keep going, or can you relax? Can you allow yourself to relax?
Well, I know we are quite busy, like, when we're not making albums, we are like touring a lot. Mm-hmm. But personally, I really can take a break, like, I can relax.
Okay.
I just chill out and relax, but this is our passion, so we also love to do this, so. Yeah, but I think that people have, from time to time, maybe except for Marcus, we have some time to relax.
Well, I mean, Marcus is just, that's his own fault. Like, at this point, there's not a single band anymore that Marcus is not involved with. So
exactly.
That's just his fault. Yeah. Also. So let's dive into this, and there's a couple of different angles I'd love to talk to you about today. Let's start with that album title. It kind of suggests destruction in a way to illuminate, destroy to rebuild. For you personally, on your artistic journey, if you will, what are some of the bridges you had to burn to help you find your journey forward?
Well, I think they're always kind of like personal in a way, like they're more inside than outside, mm-hmm. or at least in my opinion they should be, because like, first of all, if they are outside, then you have to realize that you have gotten yourself into a situation maybe that you shouldn't be in. But if they're inside in your mind or in your heart, there is always room for negotiation in that sense. So mm-hmm. I think like professionally and artistically speaking, you always have to make the different kinds of choices of how to proceed. For example, with your art, and something old will have to go away for something new to be born. And I know these are cliches, but in this, they are cliches for a reason.
Right.
They just work. Yeah. And fortunately, like I haven't had to burn any bridges with any people, basically. To be able to continue writing music, writing lyrics, or to continue with this band. There have been people like who have been trying to do that to me, but it's their own choice, mm-hmm. in a sense, and I really cannot influence that so much. If they feel that they need to do it, if they feel that they have to do it, if they feel that they are stuck in some place and this is the only way to get out, then by all means, if it doesn't mean like literally physically hurting anyone in this case, then go ahead. I'm not the first time around, so I won't be broken so easily.
If we go into like some of these particular songs, like The Last Hero, I think is an interesting one, where it really, like, at least the vibe that I'm getting is that it's really talking about almost like a relentless internal struggle as well. Mm-hmm. How for the band, like you said, like, well, it's you say like I've not really had to have burn too many bridges with people, what have you. I'm quite experienced at this point, but even for people that are so experienced, this feeling of internal struggle seems to still be at least present enough to be a big inspiration for this album. So how do you, even as an experienced musician and artist, like how do you deal with that? Is channeling that into music as a collective, is that enough for you to kind of deal with that struggle, or are there other things that you have to do?
Well, partly it is channeled to the music and into the lyrics and stuff because otherwise, because it is also about inner struggle, and it's also an irony. It's sometimes that sometimes those kind of like harsh decisions are not well met, like within in your mind, and you maybe there are mistakes, necessary mistakes to be made to be able to realize that this struggle or dialogue or conversation that happens is a necessary one.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there would be no like room for growth in a sense, and the whole situation. If you get too happy, you get stagnant. And I'm not saying that people should be like constantly struggling with themselves or questioning themselves or stuff like that. Quite the contrary. It's more of like a companion to you than an enemy, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, as you say that, as also the singer of the band that has to, because some of these songs that will have dealt with some very personal struggles in the past or on this new album, some of those songs become popular. That means that you every night have to say those words. What does that do with you mentally if you are performing these songs? Are you removed from what conflict you may have had in the past that created that song, or do you still sort of have to relive that struggle every time you sing that song?
Well, not really, because there's a certain detachment. That because usually when I'm in the process of writing lyrics about some kind of happenings in life that may be challenging in a certain way, then it's usually in that part of that the healing process is so already, in a sense, really like on its course and on its way. So in that sense, I will not get traumatized of like
Singing your own songs.
Yeah, singing those songs and entertaining people would be an interesting experience, though, to completely break down in a live show. But nothing that strong in that point when it really becomes like a written song, and especially when we play it live, because I think you have to get yourself detached from those kinds of situations, because otherwise one perhaps could be a little bit too fragile. And this is my own personal opinion. I don't know if it makes sense to do this kind of thing, because it's another thing to be really, really emotional and really feel the vibe of the songs when you're playing it live, and another thing to actually relive the emotions, because
Right.
then you are in a territory that can be quite unstable.
Are you somebody that, for this record specifically, given that it feels like, yeah, there's sonic changes and there's groove and there's some more upbeat parts to this album, I find, as well, but you're always a band that talks about some dark stuff, right? Like I don't think you'll ever write a song that's just about, rainbows and lollipops and whatnot. There is a certain darkness to your band that we expect. Is that something you can always, like, when you have inspiration, you can always just kind of, like, no matter where you are, start writing? Or is there, like, several musicians, they have to kind of go through some sort of gear setup or ritual in the studio to kind of really get productive? What's it for you as you're writing lyrics? Is there a ritual you have to go through to kind of be in the right mindset? Or are you somebody like, in between two shows on a tour bus when everybody else is sleeping, you're inspired and you can start writing. What was that like for you with this album cycle?
Well, I don't need any like those kind of rituals. Actually, it can happen like the inspiration can hit you anywhere. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
I actually felt it a couple of times doing a live show. Like I've been singing a certain song, and I've been thinking at the same time that there would be a nice continuation to discuss about this topic in another song from another angle, for example. And it's usually when you have that inspiration, it starts to cook up, like, so it takes time. I don't usually write, like, a couple of times I've been writing the first version of the lyrics in one go, but that's really, really rare for me. I usually, there's a phrase there and there's a phrase there. If something happens in life, like, it can be also like a positive thing. It can give inspiration, no matter, despite of the fact that it could be maybe a little bit darker theme that I'm writing about, but still I always try to balance, like most of the times, not always, but most of the times I try to see this kind of like topic from different angles.
Yeah.
So when it comes to inspiration, I think I'm kind of like living in a moment in that sense, because I'm not expecting an inspiration to arrive to me. Like, if I go to a certain place, like a nice, beautiful scenery or something, there is no back idea in my mind that this will definitely give me inspiration. It's quite the opposite, really. It's just like, it doesn't matter if it's the most beautiful place on earth, or is it just your basic grocery store that you're going. It really can affect, because I think it's a chain of thoughts and chain of emotions that will initially and finally trigger that inspiration. It's not a miracle that happens. It's a basic like chain of events and stuff that's been happening maybe a longer period of time or something.
And so the other guys in the band also obviously come with inspiration and ideas. And we were joking earlier how Marcus is with so many different bands. Like, does it happen a lot that Marcus will present you an idea and you go like, dude, use that for Cemetery Skyline, or for that's an Insomnium riff, that's not for us? Or is he good at filtering himself before he brings stuff to you?
Well, he's quite good at filtering stuff out. Of course, the fact of the matter is that they kind of rain on each other. That's just the thing that happens, because he's not an AI-based robot.
He's not? I mean, I've met him a few times. Sometimes I think he could be a robot.
Yeah, he could be, but too emotional, man, too emotional. but yeah. Anyways, he's really good at filtering. But still, I think it's also for his composing process. It's necessary that they sometimes kind of like leak
right
into each other, because sometimes maybe that idea can be really for a different band. But I don't think he ever does it. I think he's made a mental note to himself to just try to keep these things like in a different boxes, basically, to be able to have that atmosphere for a certain band, because we have talked about this thing before. And I think he's also like for example with you, he's also been talking about this thing. But I see it as a positive thing that there may be some leakage from band to another, because that can give an idea or a chance for a different kind of inspiration.
Yeah. And there are and that cross pollination, if you will, like that definitely also has fueled the musical evolution of your band. I said at the beginning that on this album there's some different or newer sides that we hear. There's a lot of focus obviously on groove and melody and atmosphere, but as this whole thing came together, I find that there's quite a few like lighthearted parts or atmospheres to this album, more than I may have expected going in. When when this album's coming together, when the puzzle is coming together, were there moments that you yourself were surprised that there were some unexpectedly joyful parts and riffs to this album?
No, because it's not completely new to OG. Like if you think about some of the stuff, even on the older albums, like Stuck Here on Snake's Way, like which is that's an old album, man. But like even there is this one song called Drudgery, and that like the middle part of the song is really really uplifting.
Yeah.
If you think about Beyond album, that has a couple of like really uplifting parts here and there. Not so surprised. If I was surprised, I was like pleasantly surprised, because there's like definitely some room for that kind of approach to music without it getting too complicated or too mixed or too
Forced or fabricated.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's a good word, forced. Yeah, exactly. So it feels natural, and I kind of like, I welcome it.
Yeah. All right. Well, with these multiple, parts of the identity of this album, if you will, just to kind of give us a bit of a left field, absurd question. If you have this album and you're stuck somewhere forever, and all you can do is listen to this album, which song is going to keep you sane, and which song on this album is going to make you completely go crazy?
Well, if we just think about the composing wise, Walking Ghostface would make me crazy, because it's so simple. Not many layers there, which is a good thing, because I love simple songs, but it's if I have to listen it repeatedly, indefinitely, then it has to have a little bit more depth, and I'd say this totally in a good way. So it maybe would be maybe Barricades would be a song that I would have strength to listen for a little bit period of time. But yeah, how about you, if you had to choose?
I really kind of feel like this album is really strongly bookended, as we say. Like, I feel like for me, and I don't know, it really made the circle kind of come round. Like, I feel like the start and the end of the album for me go together really well, in a way. Like, I really feel like it's, some albums set you up, and it's kind of like the end. It's like, okay, don't know where I'm going next, and that can be great. But what I like about this album is it feels like a complete journey, in a way. Does that make sense to you?
And it does, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that this album is a tight package. It's like 40 plus minutes, so.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, so already, you've got some special feelings about some of the songs. I have some different songs that I've been really gravitating to as well. You've been playing a lot. You obviously have a massive back catalog. We've been lucky here in Toronto to see you many times. I think I saw you play. You headlined the Velvet Underground a few years ago. Then you were in the Opera House here with Eleviti as well. You obviously were at the Phoenix with the Insomnium Gatherum tour as well. Poor Marcus having to change to different sets of black and white clothing.
That's too bad.
Yeah. I mean, we've been very lucky to see you a lot. I think it's been interesting for you to see as well that in some different markets for you, not just in Europe, the band has done really well. So I know that you've got a couple of winter Finnish shows coming up, which to me sounds, as a Canadian, it can get really cold here. It can get really cold in Finland. Touring Finland in the winter sounds like an insane idea to me, but
it is. But we're so used to it. We've been played many times. Like, this is in January.
Yeah.
just got published today. So it's all right. You know what it's like. It's just a bit colder.
It's just a bit colder. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I have a feeling we're gonna see you again play a lot. As your point in the very beginning of our conversation, this band is always playing live. It's always on the go. But what?
Really, it is really difficult and tiresome even. But this is the passion, and the live shows basically for me personally are the ones that
Yeah.
I look most forward to. Like I love the fact that we're releasing a new album. That's fucking great. But still, it's the synergy between the band and the people who are attending the shows. That's the like the lifeline of the whole thing.
So as to wrap us up with a bit of an advertisement, if you will, for all these shows, what can we expect for the Omnium Gatherum show in 2026? Because you have celebrated classic albums and songs. You have a legacy now. You've got a deep discography. You have a whole set of new songs you have to play, but you also know that you also have an audience that wants to hear some of these classics every time they come to your show. So every time you release an album, it's also like, great, now I have to figure out a new way to build a set list that we can do, because you won't be able to play 4 hours every night.
Yeah, we're not Bruce Springsteen.
No. So to wrap us up, what can we expect from the upcoming shows?
Well, definitely the new songs, of course. It would be quite insane to just leave them out. Would be original, but not the best idea, I would say. Of course, we're gonna play those classics. I think, like for example, Unknowing. We're kind of a little bit tired of playing that song, but still people love it. So we're here to entertain and to please people, of course, because they are paying a decent money to come to enjoy the show. So it's just logical to because look at Iron Maiden. Of course, they're playing the
Run for Your Lives tour now.
Man, it is there, but anyways, we try to rotate, like to add new songs. We have now. Let me check just a second. We have now this catalog for the next tours is how many songs? Let me see, just a second. We have 30 songs from which to choose. From Sakiron Snake's Way era to the newest one, I think. Yeah. So there's a lot of songs from which to choose, and I think we're gonna practice 20 songs and maybe change it here and there if we feel that for some reason or the other the set list doesn't work the way we want it to work, or just to keep us in the mood and in the zone in a way. So there may be some changes to the set lists. We are not like, for example, Pearl Jam, who just throws anything to the crowd, because I heard that they have to know each and every song of each and every album to play, which is really cool, and I respect that kind of professionalism. But still, we have to have this kind of set list,
some level of structure.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the way to go. But I really hope that we can come up with, because this is the headlining, so we're gonna play from 75 to 90 minutes per night. So there's gonna be a lot of songs. So
it'll be exciting stuff for everybody.
Exactly, yeah.
Don't get stuck in northern Finland, snow and ice. Make sure that you guys come safely back to North America. You've been here a lot, but we miss you already. Come back soon to Toronto. You've got a big following in Toronto, as you know. We'll all show up. Jukka, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Excited to count down to the album release. It's almost here, and then we can all start enjoying ourselves. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you soon on the road.
Yeah, see you.
for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.